welcome. If you're new to the channel, stick around. If you got a vibe, subscribe. Alright, y'all. So we in the car today. I'm on my way to work. Listen. Y'all, this is going to be a back to school recap. Alright, so today is Tuesday, August 12th. First day of school was yesterday. Monday the 11th. Listen. I have two kids. I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. And from kindergarten to 8th grade, they have been going to the same school. They've been going to a private academy. My son is entering a 9th grade this year. So now he is at a public high school. So not only is this his first year into high school, it's also his first year in public school. So he's in high school. My daughter is now in 7th grade at the private academy. So now they're at two different schools. So now it's gonna get a little difficult because now I gotta make two separate trips to two separate schools. I'm a single parent. Their dad, very active in their lives, but he lives out of state. So all of the physical responsibilities relies on your girl, right? If I didn't have my mom, because my mom helps me out a lot, I work a hybrid schedule, right? So my normal hybrid schedule is Monday and Friday at home, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the office. But we're so busy right now. This is our peak season. They've decided to let us work from home 3 days a week. So now I'm home Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they've added Wednesday to my at-home days. So Tuesday and Thursday I'm in the office. I don't really have to clock in until 9 o'clock. My daughter goes to school at 7. It's an hour to take her and to come back home, right? I leave at 7 to take her to school, get back home at 8. My son has to be to school at 8:40. But the thing about him is the high school is literally 5 minutes up the street. So we're so close that we don't even have a bus route. There's not a bus that comes by our neighborhood because we are that close, right? But obviously when you walk, it's longer than in a car, right? So walking there would take a good at least 20 to 25 minutes to get there from the house. Always, yeah, in the car, like a 5, 6, 7 minute drive. When I left the house yesterday, we left the house at 8:15, right? You can be on the campus at 8 o'clock. We left the house at 8:15, thinking I'm gonna get there like by 8:20, 8:22. It ain't that far, He can go into the cafeteria, get him some breakfast. Homeroom, the earliest they could be in homeroom is 8:30. But school doesn't start until 8:40. So I'm like, we're going to get there a little early so you can go to the cafeteria, get some breakfast. It's your first day, let you chill out a little bit, chill in the courtyard, whatever. Child, we leave the house at 8:15. We go down the little side street that the school is on, baby. What I tell you, the line to get into the school, bananas. Cars were backed up. The school buses were backed up. I was like, are you serious? A 5-minute drive turned into a 20-minute drive. No lie. And I didn't even make it all the way into the drop-off area. I didn't make it into the drop-off area. They had this area like at this business plaza that was next to the school that a lot of parents were parking into and just letting their child out there so their child could walk to the school, because the school is literally right next to this business plaza on the same side of the street. Baby, I was like, okay, little boy, you're gonna have to get out. You're gonna have to get out. I'm gonna drop you off here and you just walk right next door to the school. Baby, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I was like, what? I was like, nah, I missed the private academy. I was like, I missed the private academy. Listen, the private schools, they're much, much smaller. This public school has 2,000 kids. Their private academy a easy 150. Listen, even going to the orientation was on the 7th. Going to the orientation, I was overwhelmed. We got his schedule and we walked around to all of his classes. Baby, I was so overwhelmed. There was so many kids there. I'm like, listen, I ain't been in high school in 20 years. I ain't been in high school in 20 years, bitch. It was a lot, man. So then picking him up, they get out of school at 3:40, but on Mondays, they get out at 2:40. My daughter, she gets out at 3:15. So I was like, okay, I have to pick up my son first and then go get my daughter. Listen, it was the same thing going to pick him up. I was like, okay, this just ain't gonna work. This just ain't gonna work. My lunch break is an hour, right? When they were both at the same school, it was no problem picking them both up because they're at the same school. I make it home in my hour lunch break. Now, even though the school is right down the street from me, it takes so long. So on top of that, and then having to drive 30 minutes to my daughter's school, y'all, I had a breakdown. When I say breakdown, I mean like a silent breakdown in my head. But then when I got back to the house, I cried. I had a moment, y'all. I cried. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. It was too much. It was too much for me. This is some times where when you're a single parent, you be like, oh God, where is the other parent at? I need some help. So I talked to my mom and she was like, don't worry. She's like, you know, I'm always here for you. And my mama always helps me like throughout their whole school life. If I would get a call from the school because they were sick and needed to get picked up early, my mom would always be there to help me. She picks them up from school, you know, so my mom always helps me. And so she was like, don't panic, you know. So we came up with a game plan to where she's going to be picking up my daughter every day. I'm going to be picking up my son every day. And then on my office days, when I'm in the office, she picks them both up. So my mom is a tremendous help, but she's like, listen, on your days when you're home, you just pick up Shamar. I'm going to pick up Soleil. I'm like, okay, Mama, thank you so much. Because doing both of them, I can't do it in my hour break. Especially with my son's school just being so crazy packed. The drop off, the line, the pickup line, it's just too much. It's too much. I was more overwhelmed for the first day of school than the kids, okay? Like all the excitement that I had for, you know, my son going back to school or going to school, high school, was just overshadowed by the overwhelmingness I felt from the drop off. This is my first high schooler. And my high school was not like this. Now, I ain't been to school in about 20 years, but I know good and damn well the drop-off was not like that. The drop-off was seriously not like that. Woo! I had to woosah when I got back to the house. And after I talked to my mama, she just made me feel better. But yeah, y'all, that that was my back to school recap, y'all. I just had to get that off my heart. I had to tell y'all, if any of you mommies and daddies out there, you parents, if y'all can relate, if y'all went through something like this, let me know down below. Because your girl was stressing. I'm still stressing because let me tell you, on the days when I do have to go to work, I take my daughter to school, and then I just head on to work like I am now. But since I'm not able to take my son to school because he doesn't have to be there till 8:40, but I have to be to work by 9, I'm now going to be calling him an Uber. I'm nervous about that. You know, with Uber, now they have this Uber team, right? So I actually have to call them. It's 7:56 right now. I told him that at 8 o'clock I was going to get an Uber to show up at the house like around 8:15. So I'm going to have to call the Uber or set it up in just a little bit. We had never taken an Uber before. We had to take an Uber, and it was very recent, maybe like 2 months ago, to one of his basketball games. because my car wouldn't start that morning. And so that was my first time ever calling an Uber or setting up an Uber. So this will only be his second time riding in an Uber. I'm so nervous. You know, I mean, obviously you're sitting off your kids alone, you know, with a stranger. I made him a key this weekend so he knows to lock the door when he leaves. So the Uber is going to be taking him to school on my office days. So luckily, again, the school is literally around the corner from me. Now the Uber gonna have to wait in the line, but at least my son, I don't have to worry about the Uber driving him all across town. Uber is literally just, you know. And I know some people will be like, why you just let him walk to school? He can do 20 minutes, he can do 25 minutes. He could, but the mama bear in me just can't let my son walk to school. I just cannot do it. And listen, my son, you know, these kids wear these hoodies. I'm in Florida, you know it's hot, but they still wear these hoodies. And I just, listen, my son won't make it. My son will not make it. He ain't built to walk like that. That's what my mornings are going to be like for the next 2 years. And once my daughter gets into 9th grade, they'll be back at the same school, and that will make things a lot easier. But definitely by junior year, I was talking to their dad. I said, we're going to look into getting him a car, because baby, mommy ain't gonna be able to do this. Mommy ain't gonna be able to do this. All right, because I'm already freaking out. This is only the second day of school. But anyway, y'all, I gotta go. It's 7:58. I got to set up this Uber for this little boy. But if y'all made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. You must have caught a vibe. So subscribe. Oh, this just reminded me. Y'all, when I was picking him up yesterday, trying to get into a little pickup area, all the parents, like, because I didn't go all the way to the drop-off area in the morning, and I didn't go all the way to the pickup area because it was just too crowded. I noticed this area on the side of the business that I dropped him off at, parents were picking up over there too. So I'm trying to find like a spot on the side of the road in the grass to park, and I'm trying to whip the wheel around and broke my nail on my index finger, child. I'm telling you, your girl was stressed. I was going through it. But anyway, on to the next time. Please remember, stay focused, stay laughing, stay yourself, stay what? Stay fly.